Hey, this is George. This is Real Talk with George and Frazier. Frazier will be logging in shortly. You know, he has a slow computer. But today is Friday, so we want to wish everybody a happy weekend. And listen, man, I think we got another banger today. Today we have with us uh, business entrepreneur, somebody dear to my heart. No, not an author, but somebody who has done some things that I've done, and he's CEO of East Coast Magazine. Hey, Paige, how you
What's going on, brother?
doing? Pretty good. Doing pretty good. Listen, how you doing?
I'm doing good, man. I'm having fun. What about you?
Oh,
And it's
I'm-
Friday.
it's Friday. I'm having fun. I just got back like 2 hours ago from getting my first shot. So
I see y'all smiling, happy. Go look.
yeah, man, I'm stoked about that, man. This Carizi ain't gonna be getting me no more.
That Carija, no joke.
Ain't no
It's
joke,
better versus
brother.
Bill.
Yeah, man. So it's definitely all good. But like I was saying, today we have a guest, CEO of East Coast Magazine. So I'm definitely interested in talking to him because, I've done combat sports magazines as well as before writing books. So this should be a good one. Definitely going to be a
I
banger.
knew you'll love this one. So I knew you'll love this one. Fellow magazine owner, CEO, all the struggles you did for magazine. I can relate.
No doubt.
I'm just
So,
to y'all world trying to get in. It's all.
no, man, look, it's definitely all good. Definitely all good. I'm just looking at him in the dashboard. When he's ready, he's going to give me a thumbs up and I can bring him in.
Sound good, man. Look at all GQ down there. You see all GQ, man. I'm glad that my shades on too, George. We need to step up the shades on. What do you think, George? Go Men in Black on them?
Wow, man. It's definitely all good.
What's up,
Joshua,
man?
welcome to the
What's
show,
going
brother.
on,
How are
buddy?
you?
How you doing, man? Life is good. What's going on, George? My boy Frazier. Joe,
Yes, sir.
Jabbing Joe Frazier.
Yeah, there you go.
Sir.
All day, baby.
No doubt. All right, sir. Tell the fans and listeners a little bit about yourself.
All right, so basically just a little bit about who I am. Hello.
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay. So I'm Joshua Pollitt, and just for starters, I'm from Camden, New Jersey, man. I always got to put that out there because it's holla back. It's a woman. I forgot her name, but she's from Jersey. She said it's not more so. It's not it's not just where you come from, but it's where you're going. But where you come from, it's based on how strong you are. So basically, your strength is based on where you come from. So I'm from Camden, New Jersey. I'm as you know, I'm the founder and CEO of East Coast Magazine, and I'm what you would call I'm a traveler, man. I'm a travelpreneur. I work and I travel. I meet people. I network, and I'm more so just. I'm just an adventurer, and I read. I like reading, so I like to lead. So
Definitely all good. The reason why I was excited because I'm in Jackson, New Jersey, and Frazier's in Miami. So definitely represent.
Represent. You buy Great Adventures, then you over there buy Great Adventures.
I live right around the corner, brother.
He's over there. Wonder why you said that one.
Tell us a little bit about your magazine and how when and how you started it.
All right. So when it comes to the magazine, basically it's like this. So when I was in college, I'm actually a graduate of Mansfield University of Pennsylvania, right?
Okay.
And when I was in college, I was a writer for the Flashlight. The Flashlight was basically the name of the actual student newspaper at Mansfield University of Pennsylvania. And I remember it was maybe perhaps one night I might have had been in my room. I was doing some schoolwork or in the library, 2014, circa 2015. And I said, I swear to God, the thought East Coast Magazine just popped right along my inner representation of the screen. And I'm like, damn. And they say the greatest things happen from just ideas, right?
Right.
Yep.
And that's what happened. From that point forward, I tried to figure out just exactly how to go about that. And then one day I just stopped thinking about it, and it kept coming back to me. And I said East Coast Magazine. And then from then on, I created the Instagram page. I then met with someone on campus named Anna. She helped me design the logo. The whole logo was my creation, but she physically did it with, the Photoshop thing, whatever, the software. And that was it, man. And it just took off ground. I read books on how to win and influence people, like Dale Carnegie, how to influence people. And I just kept being authentic, and I basically made friends, and I got it going on today, man. I have a team with me, and we're just working hard.
Absolutely. Nice. So what genre of magazine is it? Is it music, hip hop, Black culture, white culture? Is it design? Is it painting? What genre of magazine are you in?
To be honest, it's all of the above.
Okay.
I said I cover. His first question, wait, is that to you? All that.
I was gonna. It's all of the above. I swear. It's so yeah, George. To answer your question, basically, it's just what it is. It's culture and society based off of not just the East Coast, but more so the East Coast and the rest of the vast world. Because when I first started, that was our main goal, But then as with time went on, we started basically networking and branding and bringing in all kinds of people. But we're based off of the culture and society of the East Coast and the vast world. And to answer your question, that's just something that we're aimed towards, because I feel like that with society, there's a certain set of trends of culture, and people need to know about that. And to me, if you ask me, the reason why it's East Coast Magazine is because if you ask me, when it comes to the world, the rest of the world, especially the United States and the American world, every trend, everything that comes from the beginning, even when Philadelphia chartered, America, the birth of America, everything started from the East Coast. If you ask me, just New York fashion. Even you could go down to Florida. There's a lot of different trends that was set, like Charlotte, North Carolina. King Charlotte brought many trends and did so much to that area in the Carolinas. So I can go on and on, but yeah, that's to answer your question, culture and society, man.
Absolutely.
Nice.
So are you a full digital magazine or are you a paper magazine? How are you doing it?
So, okay, that's a great question. At the moment, we're digital. And before this magazine actually got off ground, or should I say as it was getting off ground, I had a mindset for trying to become print. But one of my good friends I had a conversation with who actually altered me into staying, on a digital platform. Her name is Courtney Johnson, and she I remember talking to her. I remember asking her, I said, Courtney, what do you think about like the mag I'm doing? Do you think we should go paper? And she said, no. Yes, she said, print magazine is a dying medium. And that right there struck. And I said, damn, Courtney was right. She made a good point. Not saying I would never go print, but to keep it digital is basically prime. So we're just digital for at the moment. Not saying we would never go into print because there's some ideas, but right now digital it's where it's at. And we gotta either you go with the flow or you adjust to the flowing of the going. If that makes sense.
No, absolutely. When I had my magazines, digital was our entry point. It was cost effective. And the best thing about it was we didn't get any chargebacks. So, I didn't have to spend $10,000 to hold a machine for layouts and ink and all that other stuff. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I didn't have to deal with everything that goes along with printing a paper magazine. And the benefit of that was, my combat sports magazines, it circled around kickboxing and MMA for my one magazine, Scrap Fight magazine. Then I went into boxing exclusively with Undisputed Fight magazine. And
really?
Yeah, the real benefit was being able to have my magazine anywhere I wanted to in the world, just as long as they came to the website, got a subscription, boom, it was there, so MMA and kickboxing, those were great sports. Those were worldwide and they were trending. And, I could just say, hey, check out Scrap Fight magazine. You know what I mean? Right. And it gave us credibility. And the reason why I'm sharing that story is because literally almost a year and a half after we went digital, Time Magazine came out and said they weren't doing paper magazines anymore.
Yep.
So we ran right into that flow of being in that particular space at that time. And, with our magazine covers and everything, we were right there with UFC magazine and everything. And what happened was basically sales went down, sponsorships went down. And once we launched sponsors, we couldn't put the magazine out anyway. So I'm saying all that to say, how are you doing sponsorship and how are you financing your magazine production?
All right. Now, before I even answer that question, I just wanted to say when you brought up UFC, it's interesting you brought that up because just recently I was over where was that? It was in Philadelphia. When I was in Philadelphia, it was by Old City, the Marriott. I actually came across and met a prize fighter named is Kong. Do you know Kong?
No.
Yeah, I heard of him.
Okay, Fraser. Yeah, I just met him. He's verified on Instagram. He's a known fighter, and so just to throw that out there, like the UFC world, that's definitely interesting. Just to be in touch with certain people like that and to have that kind of platform. So yeah, you gave me some ideas, but that's interesting. But yeah, as far as sponsorship and as far as just getting out and financing, what it is when it comes down to networking is a major brand, is a major key. And what I do is I'll travel the vast U.S. and I'll come across folks and peoples and kind of like the 6 degrees of separation by me meeting people. There's people who always need some sort of marketing, some sort of PR. And when it comes down to it, there's people out there as well as amateurs, because Eric Gilchrist, our CFO, he's one of the prime limelights who had basically brought forward by saying, hey, man, I know what we're doing as well, but it's key that we highlight amateurs because there's amateurs out here who actually need seeing, because there's major companies like People and all those other magazines, but a lot of times they only highlight those that are relatively already famous or branded. But however, what we're doing is we've been working with big time people such as Sophia Stewart, Frigil Starr, and I can go on and on. But it's key that we're basically that transitional bridge that helps amateurs as well as others. So as far as sponsorship, basically people come to us, but whenever I'm traveling, I'll excuse me, sorry. I almost had to sneeze. It was a false alarm.
Yeah. Sorry, I didn't do that to you.
Yeah, sorry, but as far as sponsorship and financing, basically there's folks that we come across, people who are in the amateur limelight, and they'll come and they'll basically pay a fee as to being on the cover or whatever kind of service that they need. So if they need getting a write-up, there's a certain fee that we have. If they need to be put into just an ad, have an ad for their business, they'll pay a fee. And if they want to be on the cover versus someone that's already a celebrity, then they'll basically pay a fee and they'll actually be in a line as to whenever we have an issue available down the line. Right now, we're really booked, but if that makes sense, but just like I said, go ahead.
Well, but I was saying that, I like how you saying that. You said amateur. I'm going to touch base on the amateur part of it. By saying you're going to college, you got your start there. Do you have to go back to colleges, get some of the young writers? There are a lot of brilliant writers in college who may never get a shot at the big time papers or magazines. Do you go back and get some of them and help influence your staff? And also cost efficient because they get them very young in college. That'll get college credit for them to improve themselves in school, which is journalism, stuff like that.
Exposure that they get.
Exposure. Absolutely. And experience as being a writer in a professional magazine. When they come out of school, they add it to their resume. Exactly. Do you do back programs, something like that, to give back to the community and to the college you went to?
Yes, that's interesting that you say that. Where do I begin? First and foremost, just to even elevate to that answer, our web content and development strategy, as well as our sports director, Jordan Bennett. This guy is one of a kind, man. He's one of the baddest journalists that I've ever come across in my life. One of my frat brothers as well. He actually conducts and he runs the sports department, and they're writers who are all students at North Carolina A&T. And
nice.
Yeah, and these guys are so These guys are so loyal, man. These guys not only are they loyal, but they love writing for us. So as far as getting towards that sort of area, we do have writers in that realm. As far as in college, we used to have a lot of writers at Rutgers as we started to transition more, but those guys, they were sort of graduated and kind of went to other directions. We used to have a writer for us in our sports direction who we had then helped transport and get into working for the 76ers. So we've done some things. And so like I said, basically we're like grassroots outside of just a company that's all about money. We're actually here for a major cause and helping people, in words of Eric Gilchrist, our CFO. We're here to actually help people and to continue to build. So by having people, or should I say, right for us, we're helping them transition into a better life, into a better career. You get what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Because it's just like a line. It's like a line of a continuous line. People will keep coming in and keep going out. That's how Apple is. The same first writers aren't still there. I'm sorry, the same employees that were there with the late Steve Jobs aren't still there.
Yeah.
They transitioned or they moved on. So it's just like that, man.
Nice.
Thanks,
How's your magazine handling the political climate? Everything from what we're seeing in the George Floyd case to, just political awareness, to getting the vaccine. You know what I mean? Like, it's just everything, because, our culture and our people are skeptical. Just to say it, you know what I mean? About everything. It's true. Yes, we do have, from Tuskegee and everything on, we do have right to be. But, sometimes we also miss things that are extremely beneficial to us because we're always with that, I don't know, type of mentality. So is your magazine addressing that on a month-to-month basis, or is it something that you guys are just deviating from?
To be honest with you, yes. So we were more so speaking on behalf of that. We haven't done too many articles on that procedure, but we have highlighted some things regarding to just to say the vaccine and COVID and just basically all those political measures. If we're particularly talking about COVID, to not to be too redundant, like I said, we haven't done too much on it, only because to be politically sound and politically correct, so we don't get any kind of like
feedback,
propaganda. We try to stay away from propaganda, but what it is once everything is finally put forth, when there's like a final procedure or analyzation of how things are going to be with COVID and just the vaccines for sure, then we'll definitely touch on that. But as far as political stuff, dealing with the president, killings of black men and all of that kind of stuff, the recent death of DMX, rest in peace to the GOAT. Other things, we do highlight political measures. We definitely do that, especially when the first lady of the what I'm saying, Kamala Harris, if that makes sense. Hopefully I didn't word that wrong. Kamala Harris, we definitely highlight
the first Madam President. That's right, brother.
You got it.
First Madam Vice President. I said President.
That's right.
Getting ahead of myself.
First
Madam Vice President.
Vice.
Yeah, she. Yeah, man. That's beautiful, man. I love it, and I'm just hoping that things can move forward with what's all going on. But yes, like I said, to answer your question though, George, or to side with you, we do plan on getting more into the political structure and framework. It's just we're just watching ourselves and being smart. It's like playing chess, because we're kind of brand new into the game, but we're doing pretty good for being brand new into the media life as a magazine. So it's like we're doing our thing, but we're not trying to overstep ourselves at the pace that we're moving. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So you're doing your thing, but you're not trying to grow too fast.
Exactly.
Yep. Just try to be humble and then move step by step, day by day. That makes sense.
Exactly. Let me ask you a question though. I know everybody talks about COVID, 2020, nobody really doing anything. Did you find your magazine got a higher prescription rate during COVID due to the fact that everybody was home and really had nothing to do but read or interact with magazines, especially digital? And that was seen to be you can't go nowhere. So
yes. Fraser. Man, listen. Not only have we seen that, but not only have we seen that, but you got people just constantly reaching out, DMing us, emailing us, because we have a new website now and we have a new sort of like contact email. So there's people like constantly reaching out. We definitely seen the difference, especially when you can look at the insights. You know how on Facebook, Instagram, you can see the insights, right? Of people who are responding to you and who you're reaching. Yeah, it's definitely going up, man. So and that's something that I was like, whoa.
And it's crazy, right? And like, whoa, what happened? We're like, here, now we're way up here.
Oh yeah. It's like that movie Friday with Ice Cube. Friday. It ain't like you got a job. You ain't got nothing to do. And that's what we've been doing for the last year and a half, just locked down.
Hey, I feel good. For the first time I get home and chill, relax and think. I know for me to think.
That's
man,
right.
I didn't know how to react the first couple of days, like, the hell? I feel like you're frozen on TV like this. Okay,
That's how you was for 2 days.
what do I do now?
That's
Like, what do I do
too
now?
funny. That's funny.
Oh,
I
it's
didn't.
too.
I didn't. I enjoyed every bit of it, man.
Oh,
I
I
didn't have
love
to
it,
drive
man.
to work. All you had to do was just roll out of bed,
Roll out of bed,
and
man.
I'm good. Oh
I'm
man,
good.
it was great.
People find out what real self was on personal meetings, on Skype meetings. People find out real self. Get a t-shirt on. Oh, my bad. Oh, y'all ain't gonna see that.
Yo, Fraser and George, you know what's crazy, man? I mean, I can't say I fell victim to something like that before because I had. but yo, I've seen some people. I've seen some memes where it's like they show folks their top half is a shirt and the bottom half. What?
Yeah, that's it. Bottom half pair of shorts and some slippers.
That's a new professional look. That is a new professional look of 2021. Half good and half bad.
Oh man, half good, half bad, and it ain't so sad.
Right?
Right.
Oh man. I'm telling you. So let me ask you a question though. Now, doing the digital, going to the digital platform, everything like that, whatever, right? Do you ever think you would want to go paper due to the fact that digital is way more cost efficient, like George says, it less cost? And most people really not really reading like they used to, because most traditional people with the paperback are not even there anymore. If you notice, Barnes and Nobles had to actually transition from paperback to actually digital now in order to save their company. And other like some libraries had even closed some neighborhoods because nobody was going to the library because most of the people who read fortunately passed away. It was in an area, look, baby boomers or whatever, they all passed away who like to read and analyze, research. So now it's either Google.
Just not enough time. You know,
so
that's why audio books really took off as well.
Exactly.
Too.
Exactly. So how do you get it back, stay in that realm? You say you take patience up. Do you stay on trends? Keep on demographics. So if I'm reading, who are your target audiences? How do you maintain that to keep up to date on how to do trends coming out, what areas to do in a great area to get into, and also new trends or target area you want to get to?
All right, so great question. So to answer your first question, I will say this. Now, I kind of have this idea that things are being rebirthed, right?
Yes.
So mind you, while it is a so-called dying, what's the word? Like it is a dying medium, as I told you, as my friend Courtney Johnson noted. However, I will say things are going to get back to something such as like even hardback copy again, maybe. But, or should I say, maybe people are going to start reading as much as they were reading when they had reading hardcopy back books, right? Now, the only thing is, when it comes down to this, as far as how should I put this? When it comes down to the entire platform of reading, and especially hardback, paperback books or magazines, the plan is to, let's just say, okay, let's say you get on let's say you get on American Airlines. American Airlines has this magazine called American Way, right?
Right.
Yeah.
That's a magazine that's right behind every seat when you're sitting on there. That's actually clutch and very convenient because when you're on the airplane, there's people that read. There's people that are interested in the times and the news and the current events, you know. So basically, but however, I noticed something, and I really don't want to say it because it's an idea, but I'm going to say it anyway. If it happens, it happens. It doesn't. If you fly on Frontier and Spirit, there's no magazine sitting behind those seats.
Yeah.
So, and even on Amtrak, Greyhound, the plan is to start having to have print and to get some kind of contract to have East Coast Magazine print behind those seats on Greyhound track and Spirit and Frontier. So that's something that's in the works. But however, it goes back to saying people don't really read, but if you can have it where it's convenient, people will pick it up and say, okay, let me check this out.
Exactly.
You know, so to waste money and to put the magazines in like Barnes and Nobles and whatnot, especially with what you just said, going back to the point of reference, that would be a waste of money, especially that it's cost efficient to have it digital versus wasting money in putting it on like a circulation. And trust me, that costs a lot of money, especially if no one's going to buy or pick it up.
Exactly.
Right. That's right.
Now going, I believe you asked me, following that, I believe you asked me something regarding, what was it again, my brother?
Oh, it's the trend, changing trends, like getting to keep up with the trends with the digital and find a new target area, more demographics. Like targeting, like some people target young teens between 13 and 15. Some target 26 to 27. Some 36 to 40. And now you know you're going 9 to going to 50 and 60. They're more paperback. So like, how do you integrate all that into that? Into your magazine and keep it evolving.
All right, check it out. So how can I put this? So all right, so basically we have what you would call, we have stories on Instagram, Facebook. We're engaging in putting up a lot of stuff that deals with the hip hop community, current events, because nowadays these younger folks are very much so into a lot of things that are semi-taboo. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah. And unfortunately, when you look at certain magazines and the professionalism, you know, not saying unfortunately, but you know, it's not good to put up certain taboo kind of things.
Yeah.
But this young generation is into stuff like that. So what we do is we'll once in a while post something that relates to it, but in a way where it catches the attention. And when it catches their attention, they're now zoomed in and aimed in to our entire show and what we do and what we post. So that's how we garner some attention, if that makes sense. For instance, on a recent post, one of our social media representatives, they basically posted something that regarded to like a joke or like a meme. And you know, nowadays the memes is where it's at. So you know, so we'll post that once in a while to garner their attention. And when you garner someone's attention for a good while, depending on the topic or whatever you posted, that person may keep attention with you for a while, or the attention may be short. So that's when you have to keep posting and putting stuff like that. So to answer your question, we're posting memes and a little bit of like semi-taboo stuff that the older crowd would say, this is nonsense, this is bull crap, you know, but you have to adjust and go with the flow of the modern age. So that's what we do. We try to fit in when and where if possible.
Nice.
Exactly.
Okay. I forgot to ask, I just assumed, is your magazine weekly, monthly? How do you publish your magazines?
We publish the magazine monthly, and we aim to do it around the middle of the month, because when we first began June 14th, 2018, and which our anniversary is soon approaching. And basically, we dropped that. So I apologize. We dropped that on the 14th minute every time when we do drop it. So we were sticking by that for a while because of the 14 states on the East Coast, the 14 states touching the water. Yeah. Exactly. So, what'd you say?
No, that was
nice.
That was
nice. Nice.
How you said that. That's a good way to put it, because it shows that you have a certain area you're targeting and you're expressing it through the location of 14 days, 14 states, and also you put in the history as well until people understand it, to put meaning behind it. I learned that in marketing class, when you market certain things, if you tend to not tap into history, but highlight some parts of history, people draw more, especially the older crowds.
Right, they
appreciate and respect that you show a little history, trying to get a little people. So like young people minds are very, like you say, off. And but
you said off.
I was off, man. I was off.
No, you ain't lying though. You are not lying.
Think about it. I'm gonna say your magazine is digital, right? And most teens within a certain age bracket, their attention span within 2 to 3 seconds, maybe 5. So if you put anything on Instagram, anything on TikTok, anything on social media, whatever, it has to be within 2 to 3 minutes for me to watch even 2 seconds of it, you know. And if you never notice TikTok, because they only show me with 2 seconds, 36 seconds, 30 seconds. That's why young people love TikTok. Now you got Facebook. There's very few people on TikTok under the age of 13 to 18, 18 to 25. Is very now reading to Facebook a little bit because they keep checking their friends after high school. So by saying that is, how do you address the younger crowds, young teenage crowds who now suffer from like suicidal
first of all, Fraser, let's ask him, do you have a section in your magazine that would address younger suicides age 13 below, or is your magazine strictly for the prime advertising age of 18 to 25 or 18 to 35?
What you just said in the latter, between 18 and 35, that is more so something that we've been doing, just like more so unconsciously and consciously, if that makes sense. Yes. However, which you made a point. And Frazier, I appreciate you for actually bringing that, which gave George that idea.
Yeah.
Yes, the plan is to basically start working out some ways to get stuff like that. And I appreciate that, George. And George, when we get a column like that, I'll put that in the honor of George.
Hey, what about me? I did that now.
It's an honor of George and Frazier. Big Frazier out. Too funny.
Appreciate you, George.
Too funny. You know
No.
we do, Frazier.
I say that because that's actually a good idea, and I appreciate that, man. I'll definitely take this and discuss that with the team, because you know what? That's pretty dope to talk about, like suicide and the young crowd. I believe we need a column like that. So thank you for that idea, man. Seriously.
No, man. Anytime.
Yeah. Now we do best on here.
That's right. We got a whole lot of tips. Got a lot of tips.
See, why I say that, because I used to deal with a lot of teams within that bracket when I did boot camps and stuff. And a lot of the teams, they don't really say real games. For instance, they take a social group. They love social groups. Teams that they love social, they love to be a part of something. Their thing is to be a part of something. Where in my age bracket, we was more separate. We were individualized, but we do love being in groups. But we are individual thinkers. The younger generation now are not individual thinkers, but they think better within a group. They rely on more of a group atmosphere versus we did. You know,
Right.
I say that a lot of times magazines or certain programs are getting more popular around the age bracket because they want a social environment other than games, another alternative other than games. Like,
Right.
a lot of good young writers. They were the age of 18 to 20. There's nobody give a chance because they're young.
Right.
If you know, the young girl wrote a book. Matter of fact, I was looking on Clubhouse one time, and her mom publicized her and actually gave permission for the people to talk to her because she's underage. And she wrote a book. And she's only 13. She wrote a full-page book, novel, on about the life of being a teenager, the life of going to high school, the tragedies, the upsets, the ups and downs of being a teenager. And it focuses on how she get picked on, how she generates, how she reacts from being picked on, how she reacts to her friends. And that's a good topic to always talk about because young girls and also young men, like by being a young man, you know, we don't have that. Women have a social groups they go to. They have women groups. Men don't have a lot of that because a lot of men don't have the time to sit down and go from a group because we work constant workers. We're built
and
to work.
Also too, we're stigmatized when it comes to that. You know, we're always supposed to have thick skin. We're the ones that are always supposed to let things run off our back. We're the ones that are always supposed to just let it roll. You know, and they don't understand that sometimes even in the younger men, you know, my son is 13, so bottling up that emotion will manifest itself someplace or someplace else. You know what I mean? And it just has to be addressed. So
it's true. That's why I say I coach football. That's one why I coach football, because that was my way of helping younger men define themselves within a sport, but turn the sport not to just a sport, but life. I tell them football is life. Because you know why? There's always somebody bigger than you. There's always somebody faster than you. There's always somebody more skilled than you. But what separates you from everybody else is your mind, your mentality, your mindset. How do you approach things? How do you approach diversity? How do you approach being accountable for something you made a mistake when you put a watch for somebody else's back?
Right.
I teach them that my philosophy has always been 90% mental, 10% physical. The reason why I said this, you need 90% of mental to get through a person bigger than you, faster than you. You got to smart them. You got to use skills. It's proven the fact that a team that's bigger can beat by a team that's smaller. If you have the right skill and mentality.
Right.
I said it is. I've been part of a lot of teams where we have played teams that's bigger than us. Like NFL team, we come like Pee Wee Wonder teams, and they laughed at us till we got on the field and showed them different. So now because you're bigger, don't mean you're better.
Right.
That's how life is. That's why I say the mentality of young men is that we blame our counterparts for every single thing. Oh, we can't get a job because he don't like blacks, or we can't go around the corner because white man holding us back. We hold ourselves back. We have that same mentality that we letting them give that power to say we can't do something because of them. We don't have to. Why stress yourself, work for somebody else, and bust yourself together when you can do it yourself on your own? If you can't fire yourself. You can't raise it to yourself. You can't say you cut it, get promotion because it's your business.
That's right.
So,
Frazier, may I add on? May I add on, George? May I add on?
Oh, please, it's your interview.
Let me tell you something, my brothers. So it's like this. You see, we're all brothers. We're all, quote unquote black men, we're, you know, basically Aboriginal men here in this country, right? We're the bread, we're the cream of the crop, right? Okay.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is this: if you look on TV, if you look all around, they highlight and I'm not racist or prejudiced because some of my good friends are, you know, white and European,
Yeah.
whatever. But however, they highlight, it's sad because they don't like to highlight the fact that black men are really supreme and we're really dope. We're really one of a kind. We're men who've come from a past where everything's been put against us. It's to the point to where it's like when they see or come across a man such as ourselves, us three, who are intellectual or whatever, it'll look at them as if like, I don't believe it. This is crazy, or it's like, is this real, or how is he? It's like people get intimidated by an intellectual black man, you know. And I'm saying this because it's to the point to where it's like, if you look on TV, we have what you call social engineering, right? Social engineering, we all know what that is. Like you'll see certain commercials or you'll see certain advertisements for a TV show or something, and guess what? You'll see a white man and you'll see a black woman. You'll even see I mean, I'm not trying to get too far off the topic, but I'm going off what you were saying. Yeah. You'll even see something with like a black woman and a black child, but still there's no picturesque of a black man, a black woman, and a child. So it's like, what's going on? I don't know if it is the fact that they don't want to see an intelligent, dope black man in the media. They don't want that image. I don't know what it is, but it's like a lot of my friends, I'll be honest, I have friends who I'll be around, and let's say if I come across, let's say I'm in downtown Philadelphia or I'm in LA or somewhere, and I'll come and meet up with like a white person, whatever, that I'm cool with, you know, and that's what's well sound, probably had a good upbringing, family, whatnot. And it's like they have this image of us that we're not supposed to be intellectual or beyond intellect. And I guess when they hear me speaking, I can notice in body language. I have a book. I swear to God, I won't lie to you. A book on body language. I don't know where it's at. I was just reading it. Talking basically, I can tell when someone looks at me like, wow, this guy speaks dope. He speaks intellectual. How the hell is he like this? And like it's like they don't expect that. It's like black men are underrepresented, and we're just like we're not really taken seriously. So it's like,
well, you also have to realize too, not to cut you off, but just to add to what you're saying, that we have been projected into the media as how they see us.
Exactly.
So you have to understand that you guys can say what you want, but it was people like Bill Cosby that came into the media in the late 50s, early 60s that integrated us into the white mainstream culture. Because until then, it was black folks had their own thing and white folks had their own thing. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And we don't get the kind of representation that we need because it's a white writer writing a part for a black person. You see what I mean? It's not that black person that can relate to this particular individual that can write a part for him. So we lack in the executives understanding us. We lack in the writers understanding us. We lack in the casting directors understanding us. We lack in using our collective voices to represent who we are as a culture. You see what I mean? And the only thing that we can do when that happens is boycott that particular thing, because we understand that we can now use our buying power to say, okay, we're boycotting that particular show, or we're doing this and we're doing that in order to engineer and create change to be able to start that particular dialogue. Because honestly, you know, our white counterparts don't know why that particular thing is offensive to us. You know, they just don't understand. And I always say this, the cell phone is the number one thing that has changed the conversation in our community in the last 20 years. Because finally, friends that I grew up with in high school, when you tell them, they can be like, oh, it's not that bad. Now, every day you see it on Facebook. Now, every day you see it in the news, this, that, and the third. This is capturing our history and telling our story for us. You see what I'm saying? And now you have not just black people, But there's white people out there marching with Black
Yeah.
Lives Matter. There's Asian people out there marching with Black Lives Matter because they literally cannot believe what they're seeing in the video. When, you know what I mean? When they all thought that, oh, it was a joke or it wasn't that
Yeah.
serious. And so this has really engineered the change that we're all looking for and that we need to expand upon, you know, to be able to make it better for our kids. You
True.
know?
I would touch base on that also, George. Like, I'm gonna tell you one thing too. Our mindsets. I mean, we've been almost say 100 years slave, whatever it is. Our mindsets may have changed a little bit, but it's still there. You see what I'm saying? We're still in the same mindset, but different time, different modern era, a version of it. You know, we still in slavery. Nothing changed. All the difference is they gave us money to shut us up. They gave us a little conversation to shut up. They allow us to buy certain property, but they'll tax us for it. They allow us to do certain to buy a car, but we pay a higher interest rate. They allow us to buy a house, triple the interest rate. They allow us to do certain things. But we don't say this. I'm gonna go a little bit other. Like my job, when I went to my job, it was the opposite. My counterparts did not want me to have that job because they felt one, I was too young. They worked too hard to get that far, and I was too young coming in. So I had another white counterpart who always watched me, encouraged me. Hey, look, son, you're very good. What you do, I appreciate how you're doing your work. You're hard work and everything. Well, I don't think about applying for the job, and I did apply. And he was looking for my application. Do you know that my other counterpart took the application out of the application and threw it in the trash? You know, why I say this because we're so stuck in the mentality that we'll get ahead of each other, so we'll step on each other's toes.
That's right.
In order to think that's the way to go. So we got that mentality and think that we are a powerful people. We can do things without other people. We can build nations. They be real about it. We can build nations by ourselves. We don't need other people to help, but we love the influence. We love the integration. We're one of most people that say, if a Chinese come to us, hey, how you doing? We're going to welcome them in. We're going to say, come on in.
Yes, that's true.
We're coming in.
Every culture is influenced by Black culture. Every culture. And we don't say, no, get out. We embrace you until you.
But we don't get the same in return.
Exactly.
We keep going their culture and get in because they say, no, you can't come in. You're this color, you're this here. But we accept you. We always been that way. Yeah. And that's, to me, that's our downfall. And also, it can get out where we at now. So we start doing that and say, you know what? We don't want your job anymore. We're going to create our own jobs. We ain't going to work for you anymore. We don't care about your pension. We don't care about your retirement. We're going to build our own communities. We're going to build our own cities. And we're going to prosper that way. And we're going to show that we don't need your influences or anything of that. So, I mean, what's your opinion on that is in starting out your own thing versus working for somebody else for years, 30 years?
Well, Frage, I can answer that for you, man. He has his own magazine. He's already doing it. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
I mean, come on. See, he agrees.
Oh, internet? No, not internet.
Oh, the internet's messed up now. We can't hear him. Yes, internet's choppy. We can't hear you, brother. No, we can't hear you. No, we can't hear you. No.
I think you can hear him.
Yeah. He's moving in robotic motion. Oh,
I know, right? Like
he's over here breakdancing. It definitely happens. I know you can hear us, but we can't hear you, brother. Oh man, the interview was getting good too.
I know, right? We'll just get into the nutty gutty.
Try logging out and log back in.
What?
Can you hear us now? Yeah, we can't hear you. Try logging out and logging back in.
Try to go ahead and come back in. Man, that was a good point. It's crazy though. I was thinking when I said this, George. Kind of thinking about it when I was growing up. Unlike some people, I always wanted my own. I didn't really want to work for somebody else. You know?
Oh, no, I agree.
You know,
I definitely agree.
I mean, I ain't gonna lie to you. I look at the research, man, 30-year pension is a lot of money. If you think about it, not really a lot. If you think about it, George,
right.
Think about 30 years, George. You add your whole salary over 30 years, right? So you're making $80,000 a year. Add it over 30 years. Then you go back and ask them how much your pension is.
Mhm.
These and add both together and compare. There's gonna be a really good substantial difference in that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So you really made twice, almost 4 times as much money you made doing a PR you working than you would wait all the years hoping for.
Exactly.
If you don't invest it, if you don't find some way to make it grow as you work in 30 years, you won't have anything. That's why you got the 401ks, you got the reversal accounts where you can actually take some out and put it somewhere else. You know, and mutual funds, not really make a lot of money unless you're aggressive. If you're not aggressive with it, you don't make that much money. Or middle aggressive, a little bit of money. If you're not aggressive, you wait 30 years, you ain't getting nothing. Maybe you may get what? Maybe $2, maybe $5, give or take. After all the years, you lose some, win some, lose some, win some. So out of all the years of winning and losing, you don't come up with too much anything, which is not really fair. You know, that's how I look at it. To me, I don't think it's fair.
Of course, it's not fair. It's not. Those systems are not built for you. Those systems are built for them. See what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Of course, it's not fair. So why would you? Hey, Josh, are you back? Can you hear us?
I'm back like I
Nice.
never left.
Nice. So go ahead and finish your thought, brother.
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can hear you.
I got you.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
You lost your train
man,
of
we're
thought.
not leave off that. What
We were talking-
Fraser was saying
we're
some
talking
dope
about
stuff, man.
community.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, about doing stuff, yeah.
The platform I was talking about, the platform.
Yeah, you lost your train. You lost your train of thought.
We're highlighting own your own magazine, not working for somebody else magazine. Pretty much.
But no, I did. What'd you say?
Basically, it's like we was
communities.
Yes.
magazines. We work for our own. We do our own
Oh.
thing. Put our own thing up.
All right, so, well, to be very honest, it's just to the point to where it's like, you know, yeah.
It's a lot. We know. We definitely know. It's definitely heavy.
Yeah.
That's why we got a podcast.
If you can just refer,
Your internet's still breaking up.
Yeah, break it a little bit. Yeah.
But listen, that might be a good thing. Let's just.
Oh, yes. Oh, all right, here we go. So, you know, in the most humblest way.
Most humblest way.
Most humblest way. Let's do this. Let's see if we could just wrap this up real quick. In the chat. Let
So
everybody.
in the most humble,
We can't hear you, brother. You're breaking up.
way, right? Like, you know, it's kind of like this. You know, I need to stop saying, you know. Owning your own magazine or owning your own thing, having your own platform.
Yeah, kick him out. Oh man.
Oh, that's too funny.
That's the first time I've seen that happen.
That's the first time I've seen that happen. That's crazy.
Wow. But he was getting a good point too.
Well, anyway, look, we're not going to keep this too much long. We appreciate Joshua for being on the show. Check out his magazine, East Coast Magazine.
There we go. He can pop in and maybe tell us. There we go.
There he is.
Move around a little bit. There you go.
I'm on my phone.
Nice.
All
Beautiful.
right, there you go.
See, I should have had done the phone thing from the beginning. That was my mistake. You know.
We get that back there. You started on humble.
What'd you say?
You stopped on humble.
Oh, I did.
Yeah.
What did I say? What did I say? You know,
You look more like this.
like did like this. He said, like, be a little humble.
That's it. That's all we saw when you were breaking up. It was funny. But just wrapping this up real quick. Let everybody know where they can find you on social media.
All right. Yes. So on social media, you can find me on Instagram at the real Joshua Pollitt, as in TheRealJoshua I'm also on Twitter, Joshua_Pollitt, spelled the same way. And on Facebook, Joshua Pollitt L. I have two last names, Joshua Pollitt L. That makes sense. And mostly just, that's what I do, man. And the magazine, East Coast Magazine, if you get a chance, follow East Coast Magazine on Instagram. And if you're interested in being featured and whatnot, and we're going to get you guys a nice article and get you guys an interview in the magazine. You better know
Nice.
it. Jordan
Nice.
Fraser is
Definitely
coming.
appreciate it.
Yes.
Nice, appreciate it.
I promise. I appreciate you guys for actually doing and put me on, because I know you guys are older than me, so it's kind of like a little brother looking up to the bigger brother, and you giving a little brother a platform. So thank you for this platform. Seriously, you have no idea what it means.
Absolutely. And tell
Appreciate
everybody the website for your magazine.
Yes. Okay, here we go. www.eastcoastmag.com. www.eastcoastmag.com.
And one more thing, we gotta get some tips for young people. What tips you give for young people who think about starting their own magazine or starting their own article column or something, a blogger?
All right. Here we go. So here are my tips. It's going to be, I promise you, I'm not going to be long. All right. So here are the tips that was given to me from my elder folks, such as my father and whatnot. Read. And here are my top books that I've read or I'm still continuing to read. The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen Covey. This book is very key because when it comes to starting your own brand or whatever, you have to understand the powerful lessons in personal change. You have to be able to change yourself in order to influence others, because when you want others to help you out, some others are dealing with toxic things, some traits, some insecurities, and you got to be a light, a beacon of light to help others to follow you. And that book has helped me out a lot. Another one is High Performance Habits. High Performance Habits by Brendan Burchard. I've read this book twice. This book is very, very good. It's helped me reach many areas of my performance through clarity, energy, necessity, productivity, which is key. A lot of people fail in productivity, influence, and courage. So when you can have those 6 habits, you can actually be able to do things as far as starting. One of the first books I've read when I was 15 in high school, given to me by an entrepreneur, was The Magic of Thinking Big by David J. Schwartz. That book right there has influenced me in many ways. One thing I've learned is that the capacity is capacitize your mind. You can do anything that you want. The Road Less Traveled, I'm sure you heard of that. Also, one good book, finally, The Laws of Human Nature by Robert Greene. You can be able to understand people. He talks about people, the laws. He has anecdotes that breaks down envy, grandiose, irrational thinking, just a lot of stuff, man. So you have to know yourself more before you can understand others. And lastly, have a dictionary, because you can be able to understand things and know things, and life gets better. So that's the only tips I have, is to read more. Just keep reading and you'll better yourself. Reading is fundamental. Literally
That's
fundamental.
right, brother. Go ahead, say it.
What's up,
We
brother?
appreciate you, brother. We definitely appreciate you.
Appreciate you. Appreciate it. Welcome to the family, brother.
That's
Thank
right.
you, brother man, from the other man.
Hey.
Yeah, thank you, George.
That's right.
Fraser. I appreciate you guys for this. You guys are forever in my
Our pleasure.
Appreciate it, brother.
No
Always.
doubt.
Your family
Be
now.
blessed.
Be
Have a
blessed.
good weekend.
Have a good weekend. See you later.
Cheers.
Oh man, another banger, George.
Another banger. Told you I was gonna be. Besides the little robot thing that we had going on for a minute, but hey, he came back. He came back with killer tips. So y'all check that out.
And check
Hey,
the book out.
this is George,
Hey, this is Fraser.
and that was Real Talk with George and Fraser. Y'all have a great weekend.
Have a good weekend, y'all.
Peace.
Peace.